What team are you on?
Orange or purple?
Purple. Kill orange.
No.
Yeah, got killed by Yogi Bear.
Yogi. Hey, Yogi Bear. Nice to meet you.
He's had somebody AFK for the longest time.
Oh, he's still doing that.
Yeah, he's still
What team are we on?
doing it.
Purple?
Yeah.
Purple is heavily outnumbered.
What?
And we have somebody out, like, somebody AFK. That's so lame.
How they get
You're
0
winning.
XP for this?
Yes, y'all were.
I feel like it's busted because I got 0 XP.
The teams weren't fair at all.
Look. Oh, that was DeadLock.
You remember DeadLock?
Mm-hmm.
He just got in. That wasn't him that was sitting there AFK. He just joined the game.
How David doing?
It's alright.
Yeah.
Gotta stay in Hinesville though.
Oh yeah, he got to. It's a must.
Yep. Yeah.
So they say getting swole up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting that weight right.
He's been lifting.
What's wrong? We must deliver the Ark to the enemy's vault! Then I open a portal and guide my people back to our homeworld.
Oh yeah! Ride the bull!
What?
I'm gonna bring a rain of hammers down on this fancy parade!
But yeah, he's been getting bigger and bigger.
Unlocking soon.
Something like melee. You guys just died, Mike?
Before, well, not, I died right after you. That wasn't me.
Nah.
That was Yogi's death.
Playing, man. Yeah. Light some people up, man. More heads.
Remember, I'm like usually like 10 And just as serious, like the same thing. Why? Wait, that's too much. This is enough.
Oh my gosh, where'd they come from?
My back going down. Intake coming up.
I said.
They're pushing the cart.
It's so good.
Maybe touch your head and start. Is he playing it?
Yeah.
Dude, is he on
He's playing it for you.
He's playing it.
Genesis unlocking.
I'm trying to
Bye.
tied to a fat white kid. That's what it said.
How far after you?
About the couple points.
Okay, that'll help. Must have been on the upstairs.
Behind.
This got the short for though. I'm talking to Mike.
Oh, hey Mike.
What's up?
Say what's up.
Oh, punch that dude in the throat. Teammate killed me. Why did our own teammate kill me?
Oh, teammate flat me in the back of the head.
Okay.
I didn't interrupt his punch. What?
You like the passcode? Or tell me that when you go to settings. My phone.
Getting the short punch.
5G Eagle. Y or R or O R W. Y'all come downstairs and when you're done.
Demiglyph unlocking soon.
Nice. Time to hit somebody. Somebody's shooting. My charge, just go. Can't go in the outfit. Why did they yell like this, Mike?
I don't know, but we kept that point, right?
Short one. You're at the short one.
Someone can put you like in a trap. Some sort of stuff. Oh, it's two. Yeah, the one team.
Yeah, that stasis that lifts you in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who does it, but it's happened to me before. We're not getting in here too.
Your sister is not. Your sister, my mommy.
The whole team quit. I wonder if it's just like busted because of the amount of people or something.
What are we playing? Purple?
Yeah, purple. Because I'm not getting any XP. Did you get any XP that time?
Oh, you're right. Maybe we should just take a different server?
Yeah, let's go to a different one.
Bushran, we must deliver the Ark to the enemy's vault, so I may open a portal and guide my people back to our home world.
Did you find another server?
I'm about to look for one. Just noticed that my character's hair was not the way it was supposed to be.
Did you have to pick for each faction?
So the password is the same as that?
The password is different.
What? No, that's not the password. Alright, server browser.
So my journal is okay. That's my baby's okay.
Dude, what time was it?
Not sure. Which mode are we, or what kind of server should we jump on?
Any, I guess. I don't know.
Alright, trying to arrange it by ping.
I can help you. I'm Jane.
Hmm?
Can you help me with the PlayStation?
What do you mean? What's wrong with it?
Everything on.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Oh, I can stay here.
Guess we can try a team deathmatch.
I'll be downstairs. Then we'll try to talk and see my picture.
That's their turn. Yeah, jump, Z-turn. Z-turn. Super Saiyan. We got 10.
Huh. Well, this is gonna be rough.
I'm not going to I'm stealing.
It's like every
Okay, Jim. He's trying to bite me.
game is full. Just go around them.
He's blocking the stairs.
You still
Then
around
just
them.
go around there.
I tried, like, because he tried.
Get a try and just wait around. You get irritated and then
No,
just get
God, he's literally like, because he was like, then he tried to scratch me. Because and then he ran at me.
He ran at
He
you?
chased me.
He chased you?
Yes, that's what I'm really doing. Boy, that thing. I'm doing. No, I'm good. You can get it. Okay. That thing gonna hurt, I promise you. I'm right here. I just wait right here for
I just lose anyway?
I think this game. Did you jump in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like the server just crashed or something. Everybody's lagging. Yeah.
Come on,
Just
give me a
came into
good
the server,
food.
killed one person, and then crashed.
Empty, hide full, hide anything over 100.
Please.
It looks like the servers are. Oh no, there's some servers up.
I found one.
I got this little
Alright.
minion.
Sheep.
Crazy. I might just upgrade him.
Is it even teams?
Yeah. But the match is about to end, so that might be
I
good.
just lost connection to the host. I can't even.
I need some
Server browser is dying.
Dude. There's some trick.
Server is full.
Look for another.
Demiglyph unlocking
Find another
soon.
one.
Alright, I just jumped in one that's fresh. It's a brand new server, so I'm guessing the rate that they're filling up, it shouldn't take too long.
Be the one that has
What
the
team you
app.
doing?
Not him.
What's wrong with this guy?
The guy that has the. Oh, I forgot what it's called. The spiky thing.
Some of the mace?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
must
This is the
deliver
same
the
guy.
ark to
Just
the enemy's
changed
vault, so I can open a gateway and lead
that.
my brethren back homeward.
You found the weapon you prefer?
Yeah, I prefer the backs for the reach and the thrust.
Oh.
But it does more than the greatsword?
Yeah, it does more damage. I think it's the strongest.
Ark
Yeah, it's the
unlocking
strongest
soon.
damage. Well, strongest damage for the stab. The overhead, the greatsword has the most damage. We're purple, right?
Oh no. I killed him.
It's 2v1 right now.
It was too.
Hopefully that person doesn't quit.
Unlocking soon.
Why'd you put your axe on, bub?
Should have let you have that duel.
Jumped in there, man. Nah, he was like, I quit.
Ark unlocking soon.
She's not sure either.
Have you changed glasses?
Ooh. Who's that?
Free Jin will rule!
Who's that?
Free the Jin! Embrace the Jin! Send these gargoyles back to the Dark Horde!
She made me kill for logging in for crazy. Hey.
But he's bossing right there.
Yeah, she told me the first part here on Q1
Demiglyph unlocking soon.
He's running.
You're so silly.
Yeah.
You can hear it? Oh, it's 2v2 now. Yes. Did you jump?
Go upstairs.
Just took his head.
Victory is near. Arc unlocking soon.
Ignite your chin! The Rawhide City will fall tonight!
Demiglyph unlocking soon.
This thing over here.
Can't chase people into their base.
Oh, my lord. Is that guy? I did. Somebody's dead.
For the Azar!
Thought you were safe up there. Oh, they're gonna backlog us this XP?
What's going on with that?
I need my items. Seems like it's broken right now. Your footsteps and my match begins timer is not going down.
Yeah, same with me.
Guess it's not meant to be with this game today. What did Smith say?
He ignored me. He ain't saying that.
It's fit on that PlayStation. Right.
He was like, I'm never going back to the PC again. He said the one time
Alright,
he came on, then he wouldn't play with me.
I know he was sad because I was gonna come home and play, but then Violet had to. She needed to sleep because she had a test that she was supposed to take today. So I was like, well, I'm gonna wait until for her to pass out. And I laid my head on that bed. It was a wrap.
Yeah, I was like, it was like Body's about to come home, so I was like, alright, well, when Body gets on, you know, then that probably be time to jump on. But like, I never heard you come on. John left, and then he wasn't there. Like he left.
Yeah. I told him I was trying to wait for Violet to pass out. I just didn't want to keep her up on the day of her test, or the night of her test. Especially with that loud game going in. Those battle cries are the best. Well, let me run downstairs and socialize.
Alright.
How long? Well, since you're off tomorrow, I imagine you'll be up for a bit, or trying to stay up.
Yeah, I don't remember what time I woke up, but I should be up for. I'm gonna be up for a few more hours. Probably get something to eat right now.
Okay then, I'll be back.
Alright. Oh my girl.
By will alone, we are in agreement. It is night. Now! Lost.
Let us make doom. You dare. Spread the rot.
Now! Follow me!
It is night.
I will not!
Death calls.
Fool! Look on me in despair. Welcome to my court. Onward! I am ready. Darkness comes. Destroy them. Hand me my sword. Flight! Kill them. Raise them. before the king in the woods. Speak, and I shall consider your request. master of unlife. Three times. This is my yours.
Tempted.
Rotted. At night. Striggle Timeless. I hunt. Dance macabre. I hunger.
Spread the rot. Move.
Your will. Seeking prey. Seeking souls.
Tomb rot. Let us make doom.
From the tombs. Driven by hate. I won't.
War it is.
I am ready. King of the ghouls. Impossible. This night. Fight. Prove your desire. Fear me. Moron. I will taste you. I will alone. Definitely. It is night. March. Thine right is mine. I grow impatient.
Dark magic is mine to command.
Welcome to my court. The souls are mine. Slaughter! Onward!
Find me, grave bound. Onwards. I need more minions. They will all pay.
use it. Odin, the true Von Karstein.
I refuse. I will not obey.
This night, what do you want? No? Yes. Dance macabre. Kill them. Raise them. refresh me.
As you say.
What?
Death is only the beginning. I like it. Good. On my way.
This better be important. Follow me. You will fail. Strigoi. Blood. Tremble, mortal.
Death calls.
I'll crush you all.
Corpse bust. Ghost.
What? Move! More sleep shines. Fight. Yes. Crypt King, moving. My bloodline calls. You're overruled.
Spread the rot.
Now, darkness comes. Fear me. Forward. I will devour them. What do you want? Through the shadows. Look on me in despair.
Lich Master. Ghost. 1,000 times no.
Look on me in despair. Then go.
Ready.
What? By all means. You will be punished. Recusant.
Kill them. Raise them.
From the tombs. As you command. Destroy.
Spread the rot.
Dark magic is mine to command.
Let us make doom. Yes, the time is right.
Go, King. Going. I hunt. Dance macabre.
Into the night. Moving.
More sleep shines. March.
They will all
It is night. King of the ghouls. This better be important. Strigoi. Forward.
Master of unlife.
You dare.
9. I will alone. Darkness comes. awfully pale. Perhaps a walk in the sun would do you some good.
March.
No!
Find me, grave mounds. Yes. Even Nagash had limits. Then go. Darkness comes. It is night. Commit, minions, commit! Now they die. Mortis engine everywhere is dead. Commence, Master! They will suffer.
Champion of Korn.
Heinrich Kemmler. Master! Going!
Champion.
Not what I planned! Darkest magic to me! Undead terror! Heinrich Kemper! Ah! Even Grell will be impressed! Spreading pain! So wonderful! Heinrich Master! Quiet, skull stuff! I know what I Heinrich Kemper. Death!
It is done. Going to murder.
Heinrich Kemper.
Unicorn.
Cat. Mortis engine. Master of death. I run. Mortis engine. Heinrich Kemper. Beautiful decay. Legions to me. Ha! Even Krell would be impressed. Heinrich Kemper. I am Kemper.
Tremble, mortals.
Atrophy and decay. Everywhere is death. Still, I'm beating hard. Atrophy, decay. At once. I run. Darkest magic to me! make doom. Let us wander this way.
Master of our life. My cruelty knows no limits. Dark magic is mine to command. My puppet starts.
Welcome to my court. Welcome to my court.
They will all pay.
Ready.
On dark winds.
Onward.
I need more minions.
All fleet shines. It is night.
Necromancer.
darkness comes, it is night. I hunt. Follow me.
Across the map.
Futile.
Grave times.
Not possible.
Spread the rot. Don't rush me.
My bloodline calls. Dance macabre.
My puppet dance.
Strigoi. On my way.
Don't think so.
I'll take Sigmar's throne. Move. More sleep shines.
Still alive in here?
Yeah.
What you up to?
Just playing Total War.
When the new game comes out this month, right? September?
Not sure.
I feel like it's this month. I'm about to look at it right now. Total War Warhammer 2 comes out. Well, it says I purchased it on the 24th of last month. And it comes out September 28th. So yeah, the end of this month. Another 3 weeks. No, I didn't get to play my Gwent matches today. Or the lose. It's already reset. Oh well. You ever hear from Smith?
He said he was gonna go watch the It movie after he got off work.
Oh yeah, that was today. I forgot. Yeah, we were gonna go watch. Well, Violet wanted to watch something today, but felt like it was too dangerous to try and go watch a movie when you have people on the way out here, not knowing exactly when they show up.
Right.
But oh well. Where's everybody else at? Where's John and Dee? Where'd they end up going?
Did not say. Just
AFK, and that was it.
Well, one left the channel, or John said he'd be back, and then he never came back, and Dee just didn't say anything.
Oh, so they both went AFK? I wonder if they timed out, or if they like actually manually went AFK. People seem to be making use of that, the death archetype, Death Wish archetype. I've also seen people playing Consume, but using Dagon instead of the other guy. Using the big leader power that just causes weather.
Right.
I'll take Sigmar's throne.
Have you been looking at anything for Destiny?
Not really, not besides that video. I thought it was pretty cool.
Which video?
That music video. That Japanese commercial.
The reviews seem pretty weird. Like, people will say it's worth getting, but then not say... I don't know, it didn't seem like it was like they were selling it. It was just like, yeah, it seems like it's worth getting. Even the guy that I normally like his reviews, that rates it on like, it's like normally his reviews are like 10 to 12 minutes. Like it's ACG or something. He was happy with the game.
Is that the buy it, rent it, or skip it?
Yeah. I think that's his normal, like, at Adage or whatever. Just trying to make sure I'm not... Yeah, so there's him, and then there's the other guy that's like... Jake Baldino is his name. I don't even remember because he said it. But he normally gives like 5-minute reviews, between 3 and 5 minute reviews, just telling his perspective of it, not telling you whether or not it's a great game, but just what he thought of it, you know, like... Because he wasn't... I felt like he was a good review to listen to for the simple fact that he played about the same amount that we did. Like, you know, we played it a lot in the beginning, and then then we stopped pretty much once the expansions hit. So I think that's when we stopped.
We stopped before the expansions came out. Like, we pretty much did everything we could.
Yeah, and that's like, I want to say, like, he didn't play any of the expansions. Right. Well, actually, I think he did go back to the expansion after, like, 'cause he had a bunch of diehard friends that played it, and he was still like, it's more of the same, just not really his cup of tea, per se.
No.
But, yeah, he was still kind of like, if you loved the first game, then you'll probably really like the sequel, even though it's more like 1 point. That's what the both of them were like. It's like 1.5. You know, it's not like really a sequel. It's the same game, just an expansion, basically. So. But the ACG guy, who's normally like buy, wait, or buy, rent, or wait for a sale, or for PC, wait for a deep sale instead of rent, he was like buy. I still didn't understand why though. It didn't seem like he had any reasons.
My puppet starts.
Welcome to my court.
I still haven't eaten, so I'm about to go back downstairs and eat. But I was just seeing what you're up to.
Yeah. All right.
Alright. How far are you into your campaign?
Like 200. I'll tell you in a second.
Mel plays Dota?
Huh?
Said Mel plays Dota?
Yeah.
Was that? Did he play a lot of Dota? I don't really remember him talking about it. Only game I remember him playing was Rocket League and Heroes.
Out of all the MOBAs, he played Dota more than any of them.
What is it?
I said major.
Impress
me. That's when you just whispered?
Because first he was on your old PSP and the camera. He was a kid, and then
You just saw another one?
I went, who? It was sad when he tried.
They killed my favorite characters in Naruto. That's why.
That's why I didn't like Naruto.
That's why I don't like it, yeah.
That's it. I knew someone was fit. I was like,
They always kill my characters. First Jiraiya, then Neji. Can't watch it anymore.
It's like when Sasuke Kishimoto and you. I would say, let's kill these characters.
Yep.
I mean, they could resurrect them in Naruto.
Nah, it's not worth it anymore. They already killed him. They need to stay dead. I thought they killed Kakashi too.
Oh yeah, when you were young against Pain.
No, it wasn't. Was it against Pain? It wasn't against Pain.
When
it was like in the final
needle,
fight.
and then he won.
I thought it was after that. I thought it was when Kakashi was fighting Obito. That was in that.
Oh, when they're in the space time.
So you didn't see them in Dragon Ball game? Hold up, now I gotta educate you as your uncle. This is what the new Dragon Ball game looks like.
You know where's two?
I'm a first flash. Manga Mon. Oh wait, this is the right game. Oh, this is 2 weeks ago. Did they lose the videos? Gameplay. Tested. I don't know. Alright, Mike, I'll catch you later.
Alright.
Thine right is mine. My bloodline calls. That will stop. I grow impatient. This night, dance macabre. Hand me my sword. Move. Darkness comes. Ready. The true podcaster.
across the map.
This better be important.
Necromancer. Darkness calls.
Spread the rot.
Now!
Darkness comes.
Yes. Tremble, mortal. Destroy.
Can I assist you? Fine. My puppet starts.
Timeless. Fear me. Driven by hate.
Death to all!
Welcome to my court. Impossible. No, I am a king.
Name, kill, rise! I'm dark. Corpse Master.
What is your will? Thine right is mine. More sleep shines. haste. Vampire Lord. Moving out. To all. Against death. I go. What? For swiftly. Vampire Lord. Your sleep shines. Night march. Yes.
Spread the rot. I will comply. Commit, minions, commit! Let us wander this way. Across the map.
What?
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Hylor, and this is your Total War Warhammer Battle Guide to Frenzy units. In this guide, I will explain what Frenzy is, how best to use units with it, and how to defeat units with Frenzy. In Total War Warhammer, there are a ton of different units, and these units come with different stats and abilities. Frenzy is one of these abilities in the game. The Frenzy ability is designed to increase the damage the unit puts out when its leadership is high, making them into more effective killing machines. It increases melee attack, charge bonus, and makes the units immune to any negative psychological effects such as fear or terror. If you want to learn more about these unit stats in depth, then check out my character and unit stats guide here. Units with Frenzy can be powerful and even decisive if used properly with the right support. In this example, I am playing as the Chaos Warriors versus the Vampire Counts. I decided to bring a basic front line of Chaos Marauders and to back them up with 2 Forsaken and 2 Chaos Spawn. The Forsaken are the units in this build with the Frenzy ability. The reason why I picked this build is because I know I'm going against the Vampire Counts. Their undead units do not rout and have typically lower leadership. Since they will not rout, I have to expect a grind out fight, and to win it, I need to be producing more damage. The undead units can usually balance out their lower leadership though because they have fear on them, which is a general effect that lowers nearby enemy troops' leadership. The Forsaken though are unable to be affected by fear, and so I know my Forsaken will start with a leadership advantage over the enemy, allowing me to keep their Frenzy ability going. I choose a few Chaos Warriors with halberds to be my rear line support to protect from cavalry or flying monsters. On the battlefield, I arrange my troops in a double line formation with the Marauders up front and the Forsaken and Chaos Spawns in the second line. Normally I would form up my army this way to have my troops in reserve to help support the faltering areas or to help push those areas I'm winning. In this battle though, I don't plan on holding my second line back, but instead use the Marauders to take up the brunt of the enemy's charge and following quickly with my Forsaken and Chaos Spawn. The Marauders will hold their lines as long as they are winning, and the Forsaken will have strong leadership so long as they are not being outmaneuvered and have friendly units nearby. This is why I have them battle alongside the Marauders, since they are next to friendly
troops, their leadership will be less likely to fall, keeping their damage dealing up. As I continue to deal more damage, the leadership of the undead will fall, helping to encourage my troops to fight on. The chaos spawn I choose because they are also damage dealers and they are unbreakable, so they will act as a massive damage dealing bulwark for my troops' leadership. The fight is a grind out fight, just like I knew it would be, and eventually I not only mop up the front line of the enemy, but I take down his lord with my other units. You can see that I was able to get tons of kills with my Forsaken because they were in a frenzy the entire match, and even the Grave Guard of the vampire counts was simply shut down because of how quickly I could pour out damage. This battle illustrates a few key things about using frenzy units. The first is that they should always be supported in the same combat or by nearby enemy units on their flanks to keep their leadership up. Personally, I suggest using them as the backup for the front lines like I showed, rather than having them as the main line. If they are the main ones taking damage, they will die faster, which limits their damage output and weakens their leadership, which is crucial for making them most effective. The best way to counter enemy units with frenzy is to help cause leadership shocks or to kill them as quickly as possible. You can do this by using debuffs, rear or flanking charges, or to pour down a ton of ranged damage. You have to either create a way of lowering their leadership or to kill them off as quickly as possible. This is why when I use them, I also place the 3 halberd units behind my lines to make sure any cavalry or flying units could be quickly dispatched from the fight, and of course the vampire counts have no range units to worry about. Frenzy units then are a powerful arsenal in any army as long as they are placed in the right fights and supported properly. If you enjoyed this guide, then check out my guide on basic army composition or my guide on fear and terror units. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Total War Warhammer content. Until next time, my name is Hylore and I'll see you all soon.
I will alone.
Find me, grave mounds.
What is your will? Look on me and despair. At last.
Glorious carnage! Exquisite. My cruelty knows no limits.
Slightly altered depending on the faction that you play, so please note the suggested differences based on your faction. In Total War Warhammer, there is a new element that is different. I suggest getting a Lord and another hero unit that are good at killing time to a single target. Other characters for other factions have spells similar to this, so I suggest getting those characters to support your main lord as well. When you begin a battle, your lord and your supporting hero are to be kept safe behind your lines until you can engage in combat on your terms and win the fight with the enemy lord and then their supporting characters that they may have. This will give your army a leadership advantage over your opponents. Step 2. Building your main battle line. Your main battle line should be built based on a few core ideas, but which units fit these ideas depends on your faction. These units are meant to be the linebackers or your main defense. The main line will ideally be built up of units with shields because it'll give you added missile protection. This way they can get engaged in melee combat without taking much damage from enemy range units beforehand. This will allow your troops to have as little disadvantage as possible, thus holding as long as possible. It also should not be made up of the best troops from your faction. Not only will this cost more money, but this means that your main troops will be the first ones to be wounded, killed off, or tired from fighting. Lastly, they would ideally be troops meant to kill other infantry to make sure that they can last as long as possible in a fight against the enemy main line. As an example, I would probably use about 4 to 5 swordsman units playing as the Empire. Step 3. Your reserves. Your army should have a second line of reserves, and just like the main line, it should be based on some core ideas, and the units you choose should be different based on your faction. Your second line should be your utility line, the line that has all the specialty skills, and there are 2 skills in particular I believe they should have. The first, and most importantly, is anti-large. Certain units, such as spears, are usually good against large units, which would be cavalry, giants, vargeists, and other such units. Since these units will not be committed to an original fight, you have the flexibility to cover the flanks, to be thrown into the main line if they are attacked by large units, or to protect your range units from flying monsters that may come to attack them. The second skill your reserve unit should have is armored piercing, and ideally as well on those same guys, anti-infantry. This will help you to have troops waiting to see where the trouble spots in your line are and to counter them. Sometimes the enemy throw their best units against your main line and they start to break that particular unit well before the other parts of your line. Having an armor piercing and ideally anti-infantry troop to back them up is crucial. Not only does having that unit there help to re-strengthen the leadership of the unit that was already losing, but allows your best unit to get into combat against their best unit, but only after theirs has lost men and has lost endurance, which will lower their combat skill. You get to put fresh troops that are on their A game against the enemy's tired units and will usually switch that fight quickly to being in your advantage. As always, it's ideal to have these troops shielded as well to help deal with any missile fire they may get while waiting to be committed to a fight, but it's less necessary than your front line. An example Empire reserve line would be 2 spear units, possibly with shields, 2 halberdiers, and 2 great swords. Step 4, missile units. I always have a range components of about 2 to 3 units depending on who I am facing. Obviously, if you're playing as a vampires or even chaos, you will not have a range component to your army. I usually stick with normal archers or crossbowmen unless I am going against dwarves or chaos who have more heavily armored units and I need the armor piercing power of a gun missile troop like handgunners. These units are important and should be used in a few key ways. They should be used against high damage melee troops, ideally the ones without shields or armor, such as savage orcs or other units with great weapons. Once those units are engaged in combat, take your range units and focus fire them all on one of the enemy's range units. If you're playing for the dwarves, for example, then go for the gun missile unit first to stop their armor piercing damage from being as substantial as it can be against your heavily armored troops. Go one by one till each one of the enemy's range units rout. From there I usually have them support the flanks or shoot across the front lines towards the other side to have the best angle on the enemy troops. So my range units on the right side of my line would shoot the enemies on the left side and vice versa. This means less friendly fire against your troops. Also think about trying to have your missile troops on terrain that's higher than your main line. This way they'll have a better angle of attack on the enemy troops. If your missile troops can't see the enemy, they will try to avoid firing to limit friendly fire, but you can also still fire and hit your own troops. If you are one of those factions with little or no range option, then merge step 4 with step 5. An example Empire build would be about 2 to 3 crossbowmen or handgunners. Step 5, mobility units. Mobility is totally necessary in my book, but as say the dwarves, you have no cavalry. It is possible to switch mobility for range units and forego units like gyrocopters altogether. I would suggest though that if you are the dwarves, then get a unit or 2 more of range units and a unit or 2 more of anti-large to help counter the other factions using cavalry or monsters against you. For mobility, I usually pick cavalry and maybe a flying monster or 2 depending on who I'm playing against. I would say though, ideally, whatever mobility you choose, it should be anti-large. The reason for this is so that you can win any cavalry engagement, thus giving you the mobility advantage, and then you can use them again to counter lords or monsters. Also, the charge of any mobility unit, cavalry or monster, should be used in the rear of a unit, ideally not against a unit that is also anti-large. Rear attacks demoralize enemy troops anyways, so the fact that your unit is not meant to kill infantry won't matter as much. Also, as a mobility unit, it's best to charge your unit in and after a few seconds get them out of that engagement. Once the unit is far enough away from the enemy, cycle them back into the rear of that same unit. This is best really with a cavalry unit, as flying units are designed by Creative Assembly not to take back off into the air until after a short period of time. As an example, I would pick the Demigryph Knights with halberds. They have tons of armor, tons of weight, and can win almost any cavalry engagement, and their weight and charge bonus will be more than enough to wreck any unit of infantry if they charge them in the rear. To summarize everything, the overall points would be this. First, your lord and his supporting hero should be focused in battle on killing the enemy lord and his supporting hero. Second, your main line should be shielded and ideally units that can take a decent amount of damage. They should be seen as your defensive line or linebackers to give you a wall that you have to then operate the rest of your units around. Step 3, your reserve line should be your better troops and more versatile troops. You should have anti-large, armor-piercing, and anti-infantry troops in this line. Put them into a fight as needed depending on how the battle plays out. If you have the advantage, then take a unit or 2 and flank the enemy with this reserve line. Watch them to make sure that they don't take too much range fire from enemy missile units. Step number 4, your ranged units should be used to take out lightly armored, non-shielded, highly damaging units and quickly move on to help support either the flanks from attacking mobile units, flying units, or to focus on the enemy ranged units to protect your flanking moves and flying units. Step number 5, your mobility should be used to destroy the enemy's mobile units. Then they should go for artillery, lords, heroes, and charge the enemy's main line, and in that order. Again, your priorities go as follows, typically speaking. Enemy mobile units, then their artillery, then lords and heroes, than the rear charging of an infantry unit. These are guidelines and are not hard and fast rules to fight by, so just see how the battle plays out. Try to make sure your mobile units are being cycled in and out of fights and not just sitting in one substantial fight. This will allow you to use charge bonus, weight, and the fact that you're rear charging enemy units and multiple units to your advantage. And with all of that, that summarizes what I would say is the basic starting point for building an army. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and share it with your friends, and if you want to see more like it, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Until next time, my name is Hylor, and I'll see you guys soon.
The Empire. The Empire. The vampire counts. Masters of the undead and the dark arts, they're a terrifying foe for any faction to face. Like most factions in Total War Warhammer, they have some unique traits that can both help and hinder their army. It's important to understand them to truly be effective with the vampires. So this guide will delve deep into the vampire army. However, there will be nothing on the campaign. This is purely about the army and how to use them on the battlefield.
It is time! The dead march!
So let's begin with the army's overall traits. So they're actually pretty good all round in the areas where they have units. Of course they have no range, but their lords are good, they've got some good infantries, they've got good cavalries, they've got good monsters, so they're pretty strong in all their possible fields. But there is an issue with their value for money, which I'll talk about later on. And as factions go, they're one of the strongest for their magic and necromancy, which is pretty important. Their play